on YouTube. Just want to talk a little bit about the what's going on the Patreon site. It's going to be a couple things that I'm going to be able to provide guys with the basic membership. You're going to get all the videos from last year, all the breakdown videos that you see here on the screen. It will be, so at the top you see Trust the Process. That's what we're working on right now, the current live series that I'm working on. Quarters, I'll put out probably some quarters videos as I learn more about the game, and we all learn more about the game. I have 2 CFMs that'll be kicking off in September, so those will always be public. But I'll put a link in for the guys in the Patreon right there. You see all the stuff that says Madden 23 in front of it, so the Go Nugget series, and then all the different coverage match videos from last year. You can go check that out. All right. There's some other things in there that I'll provide for guys, but those guys in the who subscribed, I'll make sure that you guys get that information to you. So again, the Patreon site is up, patreon.com Geronimo22. We'll make sure that you guys will be getting every video. Right now I'm going to start working on cover 3 seam. That'll be the first instructional video of this new cycle. You should be seeing that later on tonight. Now, there is another version of the site with the membership, okay? There's 2 different ones, and the one that's a $20 one is for what I call the coordinator meeting room. So this year, I have some extra time to be able to just work with guys one-on-one. It could be defense, that's my specialty. It can be offense or both, okay? And what we can do is just go through things and talk about your strategy, kind of maybe coming up with a game plan, things like that. So I'm on my computer right here. What I wanted to show you, like, guys who are in that coordinator room, what you can expect. So like this right here is a call sheet of the Broncos versus the Chiefs in 2016, okay? This is Wade Phillips' defense, and this is how it's organized, all right? And a lot of times throughout the year, this is how I also organize my own sheet. So here is an example of my call sheet from last year that I used throughout most of the year in my custom defensive playbook, okay? So we can put together a sheet like this. I can send it to you if you're a part of that coordinator meeting room, and you can use it for yourself. But this is kind of how I organized my sheet last year, and I can explain it in more detail. So if you want this type of in-depth one-on-one, give yourself a game plan going into games, we can work on that, all right? Another thing that you will see going forward in my videos, this is going to be for the base guys as well, all right? This is an old PowerPoint that I did from when I was with the Bills, right? So this format here talks a little bit about cover 3 seam, okay? And this is the official playbook that we used, but it was really for the coaches only, okay? And we obviously have the basic rules of what you have in your coverage. This is basically 3 seam. This is what we call 3 seam, okay? And it talks about the strengths, the weaknesses, as you see here on the screen. You can take a look at that. But what I did was, this was my first year on the defense for this staff. This is Mike Pettin's staff. And I went through and sat down with our linebacker coach and just kind of went through all the 3 seam adjustments that we had and put all the matching rules versus really the most popular routes in the NFL. So what I want to do this year is that when I go through my videos, okay, I'm basically going to go through the same progression here, all right? And we're going to go through the same most popular routes. So we, as I call that, individual, NCAA, all right, angle. And if you can match up to all these routes, you should be good. So each formation, we're going to go through. When I do my videos this year, I really would love to do more of the actual going through more route combinations, okay? So I think a lot of guys who may have been rocking with me for the first time or the second, third time, you guys know some of the rules, and especially 3 seam. There aren't too many rules in 3 seam. So let's go through all the different routes that you can get, all the different problems you can get, right? So as you see now, we got slot formations here. I'm trying to roll through this a little bit easier so it's easier to see. Let's do it by page, okay? Then we get into 2-back sets. This is like more of a third down type of defense. This could be the chipper look. I might use that for an example. But dagger, double dig, double post, scissors, 8-7 switch is what we called it, zipper, which is for verticals. So we'll make sure we cover 2x2, 3x1, all the different route combinations. We want to see how the game plays against levels, right? Everybody runs mesh concepts, right? Everybody runs some sort of indie type of concept, indie 7, indie 6. That's the words that we used to use on my defense, right? What happens when it's a cut split and the running back runs a wheel? So I'm going to really focus on that this year in my coverage breakdowns. A little bit less just talking about the responsibilities. I think we're at a point where everybody understands that. If you don't, this is where, if you're in the Patreon community, you can go back and watch the videos from 2013. I'm sorry, 2013. From 2023. If you really want some more detail just on all the responsibilities, please just reach out to me, and I'll direct you where you need to go. But this is basically how life is as a defensive back coach or coordinator in the NFL. You may not have a lot of time to really kind of like break every little specific thing down, because you have to get ready to play pretty quick. So sometimes the best way to learn is by playing games and by seeing examples, right? Here's a great example, right? This is our adjustment that we had when we played three seam. What happens when it's a stack formation, right? We would basically just play man to man, right? We would just say, we're gonna f all the zone drop stuff. We're just gonna say, hey, down guy plays the guy off the ball. In the deeper part of the zone, you're gonna play the guy on the ball, right? And we had different ways of doing it. This one is a little bit of the opposite. Guy that's down is yellow is going to play the guy off the ball. Actually, it's the same thing. Yellow was just a word that we used for the linebackers when they were working with the corner, but it doesn't matter. Just wanted to show you that this is what the direction we're going to go in when I do my videos. So I'm going to make an offensive playbook, and that playbook is going to be representative of these same routes, because these are the most common routes we think we saw in the NFL, and go from there. It's probably going to be about like 40 different routes. And then I'll do one more thing too for the guys in the Patreon. That offensive book, I'll make it downloadable. All right, so you can go and take that offensive book against your defense and just put it on random offensive play call, practice against the computer, and go against all the routes that you probably need to work against. And then I'll probably even do that once we get about a month in. I'll do the same thing. I'll make another offensive book. And make it the problem routes, the meta routes, the routes that break the game, right? Just so that maybe you can get some formation recognition. Just run it against the computer, and every time you see a formation, bunch trips, oh no, it's going to be, pistol bunch, tight end trips, whatever. I got to look out for this play. Give yourself some middle reps, right? Outside of just playing games. So that's that. You're going to get all the videos and everything from there. And the guys that do the coordinator stuff, we're going to work one-on-one. We'll come up with some game plans. We can watch film together, talk about what happened on this play, get more in-depth maybe to your scheme and what you're trying to get done, all right? But the regular YouTube, how I'm going to work that, all my games that I play in my CFM, they're going to be streamed. You're going to get a chance to see all that. And I'm going to try to talk about, I'm going to talk through a lot of the stuff that I'm doing. It's going to be going fast, so I may not be able to give a lot of detail, but that's where, again, watching the videos in the Patreon, you're able to understand all these things. And then the very last thing, I got to put it out there. I've heard this from some people, and this is probably my favorite thing about doing all this stuff, is that when you watch the games on Sunday coming up here in a week or two, and you go back and you watch the All 22 film, or you just watch it live when they show you the replays, you're going to have such a better understanding of what defenses are trying to do, first and foremost. And then offensively, you're also going to understand, because you know what beats certain things. You know if your team is running the routes that beat this coverage. You know that this team plays quarters. Are they doing the right things? Your Fangio defense. You guys who are a big fan of Fangio, you guys are running that defense. You should know what routes you have to struggle with. And you're going to find out in real life that if the teams are doing the same thing. And I'm going to put on my YouTube channel more of those NFL breakdowns once the season starts. And I'm going to break down games and relate it to Madden. So a lot of exciting stuff going on. I'll still be doing my live streams, especially the next week or two, just talking through playbook creation like I did last night, and talking about random topics and answering questions, all right? Hope you guys are enjoying what's going on, man. I look forward to it, and I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.